Warning: the following review has some slight spoilers not only to Kamen or OOO itself, but to the finale as well. So if you want to remain unspoiled, do not watch the review, because the spoilers are too segmented for me to edit. You know, with OOO's leaving us and Fourze coming, I kind of have to speed up my OOO's reviews. Not because of Fourze coming and everybody's going to be wanting to look at the Fourze stuff, the switches, the belt, which I believe is fucking huge and fucking hideous. Yes, I'm cursing because I don't want to buy the damn thing. If it's given to me, I'll gladly accept it. But the minute I am not spending money on that thing unless I find it for an outrageous discount. Like I found the Burp Driver on a certain website for 50% off. With shipping, it would be retail price. For 2-day shipping, it would be retail price. Some of you already instantly know what site I'm talking about. But I'm highly debating on getting that or not. Mostly because there's some other things I want to get. There's some other things I want to get that are half the price. But I might end up getting in the first place. I know I keep checking over here, I keep checking my camera. But I have to start getting this stuff. But anyway, I have to start getting this stuff sooner. Mostly because the stuff that was produced in December and January, they're out of production now. They're harder to get now, which means if I don't get them now, the shops are going to run out. Then after the shops run around, the eBay prices are going to get hiked up. And it's going to be very hard for me to get them. But luckily for me, Amiami likes to stock up on these types of things. And as a lot of people predicted, the closer to the end of OOO's, a lot of not only metal sets, but a lot of the weapons became a lot more available to us. The Meta Jalber is actually in stock in a lot of places, mostly because it's too big, it's too pricey for most people to want. I still want it. I still need it. But the problem is, it's $60 even on the discount sites, and you can only EMS it, which means it'll be $90 for me. Anyway, enough about me rambling about why I have to get certain things. Well, I'm rambling about this is because Amiami was lucky enough for me to stock the weapon I have been personally waiting for, the Taja Spinner. This is my first ever Toku weapon. I'm going to say weapon because I wouldn't say wearing thing because I got the belt. And that's a wearing thing. Now, the first thing I'm going to show off is, unlike a lot of American, I'm going to say wearing weapons or any kind of thing you put on your wrist, is this, the strap. Turn my light back on. There we go. As you probably noticed, the strap is a different texture than most of ours. We usually get this leathery plastic type of strap on our wrist accessories, I'm going to say. Most of the time. Half the time, it depends on the company. A lot of companies are finally adapting the fabric that this kind of stuff is. For most wrist things, Ben 10 started it. But I like this material a lot better than I do that plastic stuff we get in America, because mostly that stuff can rip. The best example of this was on my Zeonizer, the Power Ranger Xenomorpher, was that after 2 months of playing with it, I kept taking on and off, on and off, on and off. The plastic started tearing along the edges where the Velcro was sewn in. And over time, I had to stop wearing it because the Velcro eventually fell out. But I love that. And you're actually going to see a different kind of review with the Taja Spinner with me than most people, because most people, they put it on their desk. That's not the way this thing's meant to be played with. And yes, as you can probably hear, I have the metals in there mostly because I have nowhere else to hold them at the moment. But what we're going to do with this is, I'm going to review it, actually, on my arm. And yes, I can actually wear the thing. I know a lot of reviewers, they put on this because their arms are too big. I'm a little guy, as you can probably tell, so I can wear these types of things. So, first thing of all, let's get these things out of here. This, I like, by the way, is very very sturdy. There was, at first, a lot of people were like, well, I don't like this aspect of it. But there's certain things I noticed that since I was able to wear this thing, I noticed little things here and there that made it more playable to the person who's wearing it that no one else has pointed out in their reviews. And I watched a lot of reviews, and most of it's just there on the counter. But before we go any further, yes, I can wear it, and it's very, very nice red clear plastic where the red is, except for this part right here. But all this right here, the very, very nice Taja door icon right there, which we find out, by the way, that isn't available only in Taja door. It's whenever he uses the Kujaku, speak of the devil. Yeah, the Kujaku medal. See, ta-da! And of course, lines on the back to show it's DX. The Kujaku medal, which is this nice orangey color. Whenever he uses that medal, he gets to use this. Now in here, you see 7 slots that can hold 7 medals. But in the show, there's only 6. And up till the very last episode, he doesn't use all 6. He only uses 3. Except for, okay, I'm going to correct myself. He only uses 6. He doesn't use 6 core medals till the last episode. There is one point where he does use 6 cell medals because when he first gets this thing, he opens it up and there's 6 cell medals inside. And I already showed you the Kujaku medal, so let's show off the Condor medal. Man, I need to get a better light, a backlighting. And of course, 3 lines means it's the legs. And we're just going to put this up right now. But yes, this is very, very nice. And of course, you got the gold trim here on the sides to help present that it's a metal. There's right now, I can tell you right now, there are certain aspects in the toy that a lot of people thought that were just meant for the toy. Like there was a couple of times where he almost did a Gigascan, but he didn't do it. Like people thought that was a thing. No, just like in the toy, you can scan it, wait, then press there's a little button right here that you can press to activate the actual Gigascan sounds in here. And that's exactly what he does in the show, because if you look on certain pictures, that button is there in the show model. So he can scan it, wait, let it keep there, and use it whenever. Now the Gigascan was originally described that it brings out the true nature of the cores, that it Gigascans. But the big problem with that is we only saw 3 different Gigascans throughout the whole series. The actual Taja door, we heard Taka, Kujaku, and Bata, but we never saw it. We never saw it because the story elements got in the way. And in the very last episode, he used Hutu Tira Tirano. He used 2 copies of Puto Tira. The purple models. He used 2 of each, and it filled up the whole thing. And it actually shows him open it up, eject them, and they get put in here. And that Gigascan resulted in a black hole, which was how he ended the final fight. Spoilers! Anyway, I think that's pretty much about it, about how it looks. Now, for the little niches I noticed. For example, these things right here. I'm going to stop myself there because I forgot to mention one thing. There's these little gold lines. These gold lines appear on a couple of OOO toys. They don't appear on the actual driver itself, but they appear on the spinner and on the meta Jalaber. Now, what these lines are mostly meant to do, most people thought they're for decoration. No, they're not. They're kind of an implied guide onto where to hold the scanner. On both this and on the meta Jalaber, where this thing fits to scan, those lines meet. So if you kind of question yourself, where does the scanner go? Just look at the lines. Most people go to spout off and say that these are to help guide the scanner. Now, I'm going to show you this without the sounds. So that way you can pretty much enjoy not enjoy, but, I don't know the word, treasure. Let's say a treasure, what this thing is meant to do. First, you're meant to scan it sideways. Now, you just can't, the way it's meant to do it is that you can just gently slide it into the grooves, and the way it's meant to do is help push this button down. Which, if you press this button down, and you have this cocked, it will spin the tray inside the spinner. Now, of course, the procedure for people who don't know how to gig scan is pretty much pull, start scanning, whoops, and then hold there, and they'll scan the metals. Now, the reason why these things are here, there's these little spring things inside. You can kind of see them. There's these little white tabs right there. The reason why those are there is not to help keep the thing going, but to also kind of help keep it in place, like so, while it's scanning. But once you pass it, like a couple of other reviewers said, these things are idiot-proof. You can't scan backwards. That's the whole thing was meant to do. You can't do like this. You're completely meant to do it like so. And all the buttons are designed, see like the raised groove and the stop right there? So when it gets stopped, I can't pull it back. That's one design I noticed. Now let's actually turn these things on and show off the sounds. A little activate switch right there on the other side. A slight different variation of what the actual scanner sounds like. Now, before we actually go into what the sounds are in this, let's find out what these do, shall we? Now, I want to point out before I move any further in this, that there's only 3 combos that actually have an elongated song, or a short song, where they don't repeat themselves. Taja Door, Puto Tira, and Bur Kawani, which we believe that these have to be these 3 strongest forms of O's, since the names don't repeat themselves, and so far this ends up being true. I can't really say it for Bur Kawani because all we can go off is clips of the show. And now, the scanning charge. And just for those people who want to hear them individually. And then okay. And now how you properly gig or scan, we have this turned on, we have the scanner turned back on so I can reset it. Now all you have to do is properly open like so. You have to put in 6 metals. 7 metals. The reason why it's 7 metals, as in what Shuken Shinobi discovered, is that the scanner will scan 6, but then it'll stop. The reason why there's a 7th is to reset the scanning. That's why you can have the continuous ding 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 effect. So what I'm putting in here to celebrate that he scanned the purple metals, I'm putting in the 3 purple metals, the Kajaku combo, and the cheating metal. As you can probably tell by the metal holder back there, it's quite empty. So, this is on. This is on. First, these kind of sounds kind of overlap. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do this, then both together. All right. So I'm going to turn this off. So let's go and find out what this says by itself. Did we all notice something there? Fans of the show will instantly recognize that the Gigascan does not repeat itself. Because in the show, it kind of sounds like this. Yeah, a bit quite different than what it actually does in real life. And as you probably, if you watch the last episode, it can only recognize 6 as well. And as you probably noticed, it said Patera, Tricera, Tyranno, Cheetah, Taka, and Kajaku. It did not say Condor. That's because Condor was the one that completely reset everything. No, it did. It said, yeah, it did not say Condor because Condor reset the whole tray. So, since it was the resetter upon scanning the Gigascan chip, which is right here in the exact center, you can kind of tell where it is because, well, the cover is screwed on. So it's not that kind of hard to tell. It's not that you can tell exactly where it is. And I will say this while it's on my mind. People can't say this because most of the time when they review this thing, it's on the desk, but you can really tell the difference, just like the metal holder, when there's metals in there or not. It gains weight. Mostly because all those are the DX metals. They're all die-cast. Which means this thing has gained some weight, and you can really tell that it's gained some weight. I mean, even when you're trying to, like, move with it, you can hear them and you can kind of feel them shifting their weight. And you can really tell when you take those metals out, you can really tell that this thing lost some weight as well. Alright, now back to the sounds. I'm going to turn this off, and we'll turn that back on. Ready? Let's try again. I'm going to do it like this, that way you guys can hear it. Now, see, like I said, he can scan and then keep it charged until he presses the button. And then I'm kind of showing you the speaker because the Taja Spinner has no lights. So I guess I can kind of get away with showing you the speaker, not any kind of lights. Now, this thing does stop. When it has no metals in it, it spins forever. But when you have metals in it, I'm going to shut this off. I'm going to show you how slow it actually. It doesn't spin that fast, and it doesn't spin that long. Now, if you had candy toy metals in here, which were all plastic, it might spin a bit longer. But that also contributes to the weight. Alright, now you heard this. And now we're going to turn this on. Now let's see the kabobble that is the wonderfest of noises that goes on between these two devices when they're both activated. Here we go. Let's try that one more time for the sake of me knowing what I'm doing. Now, with all that being said and done, my thoughts on the little design aspects and all. Overall, I like the Taja Spinner. I hate it that I had to buy it to complete my red combo. But overall, it's a great toy if you're collecting all the O stuff. Should you get it by itself? No, absolutely not. Because if you get it by yourself, all you're resorted to doing is pretty much just pulling this back, putting the two metals inside, and so you know what? Let's actually show that off. Putting the two metals inside and then pressing the button yourself. Uh-oh, did we see what happened there? That's right, this thing is improperly balanced when those two are in there. So you'd have to actually split these things up amongst both sides to have it spin. But overall, should you get this thing by itself? No. Should you get its completely red combo and if you already have the belt? Yes, I highly recommend it. If you can wear it, this is a very fun toy to play with. But if you're one of the few unfortunate grown-ups that can't wear most of the common wrist-mounted weapons, then no, unless you really need it, don't get it. It's a waste of your time. Because just to have it sit on your shelf, or is it to sit on a desk or sit on your shelf, it's not really worth it. If you can't really wear it. If you can wear it and play around with it as much as like I can, it's worth the money. It's worth the cash. But it's not really worth it if you can't really use the Taja Spinner. I mean, yes, you get the Giga Scan, but even the Giga Scan out of the actual scanner isn't the right one. The one I fell in love with the show, because the one in the show sounds so effing epic. I mean, heck, the scan from this is stronger than any kind of scanning charge you will ever get from the belt. Honestly, before Puto Terra came along, Taja Dora was officially Kamen Rider O's final form. Because it was technically the strongest. He could fly. He can control fire. He can bring out the true power of any core metals. And then his metals can mix with any other metals. Unlike Puto Terra's, which he can only use them and that's it. All in all, it's a great toy. If you can wear it, and you have the belt, or not, unless you absolutely need it, I suggest you get it. It's worth the money. It's fun to play around with. Even if you can't wear the strap and you can try to put your hand through here, play around with it a little. If you actually, then you'll be able to do this a lot more better than I can, because my wrist kind of frictions with it. It's really great. Oh, I forgot to show off the detailing on the bottom. Yeah, there's some slight detailing on the bottom. And the paint on the handle is metallic. Yes. And again, I recommend it. There's a link in the description below, or to the side, or wherever fucking YouTube's putting it now. I suggest you buy it. If you can get it on a discount, even better. Well, I guess I can pretty much say that's about all for the Taja Spinner. Please rate, comment, subscribe, whatever. And I'll catch y'all later. Oh yeah, and look for me in an upcoming project. I'll make an announcement later.